What's going on everyone, how y'all doing? It's me Jordan, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the Halo franchise. Now, I'm sure many of you know that the franchise has been under fire in the past few years. I think ever since it was on the top of the shooter market with Halo 2 and 3, a lot has changed since then to the present day, and rightfully so, but unfortunately when you look at the population and the ratings they've had in the past few years, it's made a turn for the worst. So I found this article that was actually published a couple of years ago. I think it was around the time when the Halo 5 beta came out. It was an interview with the 343 head, Bonnie Ross, and she made the statement that she thinks Halo will last another 30 years. Now, Microsoft actually backed her up on that statement and said that they wish this franchise to last another 30 years, but I think they are aware that it will be mainly in the community's hands on how long they want this franchise to go for. So in this video, having that statement thrown at us like that, I mean it was 2 years ago, but I want to talk about it now because I think it's an important time with Halo 6 coming out next year. We're probably going to get some kind of reveal of it probably by the end of this year, perhaps, maybe. I think usually we'd get it way before E3. Perhaps with Halo 6's reveal coming at the end of the year, perhaps. I think it's a good time to talk about this. So if they are serious about this franchise lasting another 30 years, I wonder what directions this franchise will take. Are we going to get completely different kind of Halos? Are we going to get classic spin-offs? Are we going to get a survival horror Halo, an RPG Halo? How many kind of Halos will we have to keep this franchise kind of fresh so it doesn't get stale within 10 years time? And if they are serious about this, one thing I hope they don't start doing is just milking the franchise, having a game pushed out maybe every year, kind of like what Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed have been doing, where they've just been pushing these games out year in year out, and fans are going to get bored quicker than they should. That's just the one thing I hope that they get right to start with if they are serious about lasting another 30 years. So there are two key elements that need to be taken care of from Microsoft and 343 Industries to make sure that they can actually achieve that. The first key element, as I think obvious, is the game quality. To get a bigger picture, we need to look back on what made Halo so special in the beginning. The original trilogy, Halo 1, 2 and 3, offered a completely different formula. It separated itself from other shooters. Battlefield revolves around large-scale maps with vehicles and infantry combat, making you actually feel like you're in a war. It's a war simulating game, essentially. Call of Duty revolves around running around like a headless chicken, feeling like a badass just cutting down people left and right. Halo is in between those two shooters. It's a medium-paced shooter where you must adapt to the maps and how they play out, whereas learning the weapon spawns and the power-up spawns, having more knowledge than your opponents gives you the advantage. If your opponents have just as much knowledge as you do, then it's down to skill. But if you were to play Halo 3 and Halo 5 in the same day and compare them, you can see that so much has changed, from the movement speed, the mechanics, and the TTK, just to name a few. It's a big jump from playing Halo 3 and then going over to play Halo 5 and trying to kind of play the exact same way. And I think this is where the second key element comes in, and that's the community. Currently, I cannot think of a more split gaming community than Halo. Halo, without a doubt, is probably one of the most split communities in the gaming industry. There's people who want change, people who don't want change, people who want classic Halo gameplay to come back again, people who want Halo 6 to be just built off of Halo 5's best bits and just improve off of that. Some people want the game to have a completely new kind of look and playstyle. So you've got all these different groups of people who have different expectations as to what Halo should be. So why is the community so split? I think the real split came after Reach came out. Reach changed and introduced a lot of new things when it came out in 2010. I think the biggest change, obviously, was the armor abilities, which was essentially a fourth layer of gameplay for the players to enjoy and feel like the game was a bit more fresh. Me personally, I thought Reach was a great game. I thought all the changes that they made were welcome, except for maybe one little one. The leader. Halo Reach, all in all, felt like a breath of fresh air for the franchise and didn't feel at all like a copy-paste of the originals. Now, a lot of players did love the changes that Reach brought in, and I think a lot of them to this day think that Halo Reach is the best Halo that's been made. And there were another side of people who didn't like the changes. They thought it was too far away for Halo to reach to be something different. Now, when Halo 4 came out, another path had kind of been opened. It was almost like when 343 were developing it, they came out and asked everyone what they like in their shooters, and unfortunately they were asking the wrong group of people, because they asked, what do you like in your FPS? And they replied, kill streaks, customization, perks, and a game that's easy to pick up. And that's exactly what they did. So Halo 4 took a lot of things away from what made the original Halo formula so special. The game had gone so far down in population that about a year later, you would compare the amount of players online Halo 3 to Halo 4, and there were more people playing Halo 3. Now I think Halo 4 again was another attempt to make Halo different, but it ended up being too different. But Halo 4 did have a lot of good elements to the game, I thought. Graphics were spot on, probably one of the best looking Xbox 360 games I've played. The sound design, especially the weapons, had realistic sound design. And the campaign, despite being very linear compared to the other Halo campaign missions, it still was a solid campaign. Personally, I had a great time playing Halo 4, but it was the first time that I played a Halo game, loved it, but never really felt like I was playing Halo. So 343 then come out with Halo 5 and remove a lot of the things that people really hated from 4, like the customization and the ordnance drops. Now the one thing in terms of gameplay that I hope for Halo 6 is just that they have some original ideas. Halo 5 took so many things from other games. The thruster pack was essentially the EXO ability that you had in Advanced Warfare and Call of Duty, and the Spartan charge was essentially the Titan charge in Destiny. But the one thing I thought that they tried to do with Halo 5's mechanics was to try and make sure none of them felt overpowered and they all had counters to them. That's what I hope they do better in Halo 6 this time, because in Halo 5 at times you could tell which ones were more useful than others. Now when you look at Halo Reach, which was the big change for at the time for the franchise, and then play Halo 5, you see from Halo Reach to Halo 4 to Halo 5 they've slowly made it faster. It's not, like, take this for example. Let's look at Red Orchestra 2 for example. Let's just use that as an example. That game revolves around being super realistic. Like, aiming down sights is not as accurate as you'd think it would be. You move very slowly and it's very clunky. And there are a large amount of people who enjoy that kind of gameplay. Now let's say if Red Orchestra 3 comes out and the gameplay is like this. Yes, and I think we can all agree that if it was to be like that, the fans would be super pissed. If they made the third one like that, that would take away everything that made the second one so good. But with Halo, from Halo Reach to 4 to 5, they've slowly paced it faster to make players slowly adapt to 1, and then push them further with 4, and then push them again further with 5. And I think that's why the community is so divided. Players have jumped on board with the new gameplay and adapted to it, whereas others have not even bothered. You know, people are staying on Reach or 3. That's why they're all divided so much. And this is what I see happening to Halo, at least up until Halo 6. Halo 6 is going to be built off everything that everyone liked about Halo 5, keep that, and then put some more elements into that. And for the veteran players who just want a classic Halo game, Halo 3 Anniversary is the best you're going to get for a while. There's no way Halo 6 is going to be classic gameplay. It's going to be building everything that made Halo 5 good for most players and just build off of that. Halo 3 Anniversary will be bundled with Halo 6. If you want me to talk about that in more detail, then go watch my video. I'll leave like an end screen annotation to the video if you want to see it. Depending on Halo 6's quality, the community might come together a bit more, but they'll still be as separated as anything. And in fact, I would actually believe that it might even split the community even more, and I think it will. So I ask this question to you now. Do you think Halo 6 should be 343's last chance to prove that they can make an all-round Halo game for everybody to enjoy? And I think depending on Halo 6's quality will give us an idea of how much longer the franchise will go on for. So that's this video for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and tell me your thoughts in the comments, because with Halo 6 being revealed probably at the end of this year, I want to hear what you guys think, because depending on Halo 6 could depend on the franchise's future. Tell me your thoughts on what might happen to the franchise if Halo 6 ends up being disappointing, or if it ends up being really good. You tell me. Thanks guys for watching, take care of yourselves, I'll see you all later, bye.